right. Let's see. All right, all right, all right, all right. It's a little colder day. I can see. All right, there we go. Now we can see. That's so much better. Okay, guys, we're gonna wait for some people to come in before I start running my mouth, because you know I will do it. Well, I guess I'll just say a little bit, look, while we wait. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. I absolutely am. It's a little chilly my way, but I'm actually having a great day. Got a lot going on. So I've been trying to keep up with this, with my posting and my consistency. And so I'm learning a lot. I've learned a lot. So I'm going to say is just bear with me. I'm getting better. I know the more consistent I am and the more that I stay with it, I can do nothing but get better. So I absolutely am going to stick with it. So right now we're doing lives on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. That's what we're doing right now. And we're going to try to stay true to that, hopefully, for the duration. Like I said, I'm just getting into this. And so far, so good. So we'll keep it right here for right now. Hey, Emma girly. Hey, mama. Hey, baby. How you doing? Grand Rising. Come on in. Come on in. Let me know where you're from and how you're doing today. I hope you had an amazing day. So I was trying to figure out what we were going to talk about today. I have so many lessons and so many things to get out, and I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to manage this the best that I can. But you know, making these videos and editing and all that stuff, it's a lot. But like I said, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Bro, we're not talking about anything right now, bro. We just got on. So right at the moment, we're not talking about anything. But welcome. How are you doing? What is this? Blippy Blippy. Hey, Mike Jones. Hey, the grandma. Hey, April, Kimber. Hey, guys. I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome. Grand Rising. So, like I said, now listen, I'm trying to get myself together with this whole live and this scheduling and all these beautiful things. So, like I said, just stick with me. I know the more consistent I am, the better I will get. And so, I really try to make it my business to make sure that all of our lessons and all of the times that we do go live piggyback off of each other and tie in together so that you have a beautiful stream, right? And so I know that I need to do my story. I left off on part 2. So that's what I'm trying to figure out today, what we're going to do today. My story, the third part of my story, or this little lesson. Hey, Miles Away. Hey, Tissa. Hey. How you guys doing? Let me know. You guys are always so quiet, and I appreciate you. I feel like if you're quiet, that means you're listening. But I want to hear from you, too. And let me know how you're doing and if you have anything going on, okay? So, like I said, the lives are going to be on Mondays and Thursdays, okay? So, Monday, 6 p.m., Thursday, 6 p.m. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about fear over faith, and then Thursday we'll get into my story part 3, okay? So stay tuned for that. So Spirit just gave me this lesson, and so like I said, I've been really trying to be mindful and allow Spirit to also lead me so I don't get so overwhelmed. So we just gonna let Spirit do what it do and how it wants to do it. And so here we are. So today we're gonna talk about faith over fear, okay? This is one of the lessons that I had to learn, because at some point you have to think about it. When you get into this journey, right? This is you going into your higher self, you getting into alignment, you getting into your connection with God, Spirit, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in. And so a lot of the times what happened is, the reason we're not able to make this initial connection is because we're standing in fear. So when it comes to this faith or fear thing, this is you finally picking a side, okay? This is you no longer straddling the fence. This is you understanding, right? It's either black or white. This is you coming up out of that gray area. And so this is what we're going to talk about today. Now, like I said, when it comes to faith, the thing about faith is when you finally gravitate over into your faith, this is you moving out of your own way. Okay? Because 9 times out of 10, what happens in this journey is when it comes to us evolving, when it comes to us making the changes, when it comes to us letting go of the things that we need to let go of, who's really to blame for you not doing these things? At the end of the day, it is yourself. So this is you standing in your own way. So you stepping into that faith is you moving out of the way, okay? You being open, honest, transparent, and vulnerable with your own self, right? Because this is your business, nobody else's. And you understand that you have to give yourself love, compassion, and grace in this space and time, right? Hey, King. Oh, baby. I don't know how you're saying your name, Mama. Hey, Mama. Oh, Quenisha. Is that right? I'm going to say Quenisha. I think I got it, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Caesar. Hey, Jared. Hey, Jimmy Brownette. I'm so glad to see you all. I'm so glad to see y'all. Now, let me get to going here because I will get off track. So, we talking about fear over faith. Okay, so get your pens and your papers ready. The first thing is, faith is having complete trust or confidence in something or someone. And like I was just saying, at some point in your life on your journey, I know for me, I hit rock bottom more than once. I hit rock bottom several times. But it was that last time that pushed me and propelled me to go ahead and make the changes that I needed to make. You have to understand at some point in your life when you find yourself in certain spaces, you absolutely know that you have done everything that you can do in your control. So this is time for you to step out of the way. This is time for you to actually allow whatever it is that you believe in guide you. After so long, after so much, after your wheels have been turning, you will come to a place of a stop. You will come to a halt because you come to a place where you exhaust yourself. You've done all you could not only physically do, but mentally do. At this point, it is absolutely out of your control, and it's only out of your control. Why? Because you're not yet your higher self, and you've not yet reached the higher perspective or whatever you need to be able to handle whatever it is that you're sitting in. This is you. It's also a part of surrendering, okay? This is a big part of surrender. And like I said, I found myself at rock bottom many a times. And it was that last time when I just completely let go. I stopped doing everything. I completely stopped moving. All I heard, and this is the other thing about faith, okay? When you get to a certain level of your faith, because faith is what? Faith is believing in something before you see it, right? That's another thing. Faith is believing in the unknown. And I've already told you this. When you are dealing with spirit, you have to be able to believe in anything before you receive it. Believing is what sets off the feeling, and feeling does what? Set off the energy, the vibration, and the frequency. And that is what your magnet that attracts everything to you. So believing, you have to be able to believe in it before you see it. And in this case, we are believing in a version of ourselves that we've not yet reached yet. But we absolutely know that she or he dwells, because we absolutely know that where we sit cannot be it. Giving up is easy. Anybody can give up. So instead of giving up, surrender. And that's the other thing about surrendering. A lot of people feel like surrendering is giving up. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is giving up control, right? Surrender is yielding to a higher power, control, or possession of another, uncompromised, or, oh God, hold on, I need some light. I can't see good. I done wrote all this stuff down. Hold on. Golly. Is that gonna mess us up? Well, it is what it is. Because I can't see what I done wrote on this paper here. Okay, so like I was saying, surrender is not giving up. Giving up is easy. Anybody can give up, because what happens when you give up? You give up and you don't do anything. You just give up and let life just keep on tearing you down and tearing you down and tearing you down. But surrender is not giving up. Surrender is to yield to a higher power, control, or possession of another upon compulsion or demand. This is you saying, God, I need you. Universe, I need you. Mother Nature, I need you. Buddha, Allah, whatever it is that you believe in. This is you at that moment yielding, waiting for you to make that connection and get into alignment, so you can begin to get your guidance and your instruction, okay? Faith is being able to hear clearly but not see anything. This sticks out to me so loudly because I remember clearly, and I remember my kids questioning me. My kids thought I was crazy. When I surrendered, when I went into my full faith mode, like I said, I just completely stopped moving, completely stopped working. I stopped doing everything. And for me, that is not something that you would normally see me do. So, and it was so easy for me to give up, because this calling, this knocking, it had been on me for a while. And so this is the other thing about that calling, and about when spirit is knocking and calling you. When you hear that call, when you hear that knock, you can either answer the door, or spirit is going to come on in. And when spirit comes on in, well, that's a lot of times going to look like your whole world collapsing. Okay, spirit will collapse your world in a minute so it can be all that you need. So never forget that. Please keep that as a side note. Okay, so I can remember I couldn't see nothing. All I could see around me was chaos. And so I completely stepped away from that external view and went into myself. And so I couldn't see anything, but I could hear God clearly. I could hear spirit clearly. And that's what I held on to. Not only did I hold on to that, I believed it. Not only did I believe it, I could also feel it and sense it. And with that kind of conviction, this also is another catalyst that will propel you into growth. Because that feeling, that sensing, that conviction becomes so heavy that you slowly begin to move in the way that spirit, God, the universe would have you to move. Okay? Faith reveals the unknown. So this is why this is why a lot of people are so afraid of faith. Because when you're dealing with faith, this is you relinquishing control. We know that. So when you don't have no control, what does that mean? You don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. But you know something is happening. That's uncomfortable. Faith causes you to be uncomfortable, but in your uncomfortability is where God and spirit what is where you're being stretched. This is where the stretching comes in. This is where the growing comes in. You can't grow unless you're uncomfortable. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and it's not gonna last long. Let me say that it's not gonna last long. It's not going to last long. Some things may be harder than others, granted, but it's not gonna last long. Where right now you're hardwired. You run off of certain program because you're so used to running off of it. Well, when you slowly introduce these things into your life, when spirit slowly introduces these things into your life and you start to implement them, when you start to put actions behind the faith, you will begin to see your external world begin to change. Okay? You just got to hold on to it. That's the part, is holding on to it. You got to hold on to it. You got to hold on to it. And it's not easy, okay? Especially when everybody around you, when the world is still moving and you're now in this faith walk, because this faith walk is going to also cause you to do what? This is you working out your discipline. You in your discipline era when you walking in faith, because you can't just do any and everything like everybody else is doing, which means you're not going to look like everybody else is looking. That's going to be what? Uncomfortable. You're stepping out of your normalcy. You're literally stepping into a new you to create a new world. So you have to get comfortable in this space. Faith takes you into the infinite. When we talk about the infinite, that's faith. When you in your faith works, when you in your faith zone, this is you knowing, understanding, and believing that anything is possible. This is you knowing and understanding that now that you're in your faith, that your life can absolutely change in a minute, because not only is your energy vibration and frequency changing, you are changing. You are becoming a higher version of yourself. You are becoming your God self. You are now allowing your soul to come up and lead this ship. When you get in this space right here, you're in divinity. You're dealing with divinity. You're dealing with divine timing, divine guidance, and all these other beautiful things that come with divinity. You dealing with the space here where you think a thing and it manifests. You in the space where you become the observer and the witnesser of your thoughts. You are in the space of co-creation, because now you are in alignment with your God, with your spirit, whatever it is that you believe in, your higher self, and you are now creating your world. You no longer sit on the external view. You are now operating from the inside out, because that's what faith is. Faith is going into your inner world, allowing your outer world to manifest. Once you see all this stuff happening, once you see all your works come into action, once you see all your visions and your creation and the things that spirit has specifically given you to do come into fruition, you become unmovable, unshakable, unstoppable. You have tapped into your infinite self. You talking about quantum lumps and jumps here. You're talking about miracle signs and wonders. You no longer operating on this 3D plane. Faith cultivates growth, and it's a breeding ground for success. So at this point, this is the other thing. What it say in the Bible, all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed. So the bigger your faith, the bigger the outcomes. Let me put it like that. But you have to get used to it. So it's okay if you don't know what faith is. It's okay if you don't know how to exercise your faith. This is why it says in the Bible, like I just said, all you need is a mustard seed. You got to start somewhere. So let that mustard seed be your starting place. Okay? Faith is a tool and a muscle that you have to exercise. So, what does it say in the Bible? Hearing the word of God does what? It promotes your faith. So I say that to say this. When you are in your faith era, when you're in this space where you're really trying to get into alignment and you're really trying to work this faith muscle, make sure that you're surrounding yourself with things that pour into you, things that uplift your spirit, things that make you confident, things that make you feel good, things that build up your strength. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? That needs to be your foundation for your faith to be built on. Your faith must be built on solid ground, okay? So you make sure, like I said, that you're doing things that make you feel good and doing things that uplift your spirit at all times. Okay, this is also you creating your environment. You're responsible for that. Okay, so now that means, like I said earlier, you got to be careful about what you're doing, how you're doing it, who you're around, because the thing about this journey is you can be doing so good. You can be doing to be able at this point to be strong enough to pick yourself back up to get back on course. And this is what happens. Something to come along to throw you off course, and you don't have that ability, that strength that you need to pick yourself back up and get back on course. Okay, so you got to be mindful about who is around you, what's around you, and what's going on around you. Okay, and if you feel at any time that you somewhere that you don't feel like you should be, you don't want to be, remove yourself. Okay, remove yourself. Remember, you now, faith is awareness, faith is being present. You got to get used to that. You're not operating out of that subconscious mind, you operate out of your conscious mind. You got to get used to that. Okay, now let's talk about fear. Well, what can we say about fear? What is fear? Fear is what? Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or harm, or a threat. So, fear makes you incapable. When you scared of something, what do? You run, you hide, you avoid it because you don't want any parts of it. This is what fear is. Fear is a stumbling block. Fear is a hindrance. Fear causes you to be incapable of movement. Fear makes you stagnant. Fear makes you stuck. A lot of the times in this journey, especially when you're the only one on it and you look around and nothing else looks like you, sounds like you, or is doing what you're doing, that fear will cause you to revert and stay in that stagnant, complacent place where no growth is happening, where your shadows are keeping you, where you are bounded, where you were shackled, where you were under the generational change, bondages, and cycles, and all these things here. Fear doesn't allow your mind to fully move. You talk about fear. Fear is being trapped under a limited belief system. The other thing about fear is you can only fear something that you believe. So if for whatever reason you are scared of the changes, the things that you need to let go of, whatever is standing in your way, it's only there. It's only not happening. You only fear it because you believe that you cannot have it. And why is this? Because you may have never seen it done. You may not understand the starting point, right? Because that's a lot of times What happens? You'll know you want to do something, or you'll have this idea about something, but you don't know how to start it. And so instead of starting it, what happens? That negative overthinking, that fearful side of you, that part of you that keeps talking yourself out of the beautiful things that you absolutely could be doing, takes over. And so the whole thing goes away. You can't grow in fear. And then the other thing about it is, what are you scared of? You're only scared because you don't know. Whenever you're scared of something from now on, whenever fear is a feeling that you find yourself dealing with, ask yourself, what are you scared of and why are you scared of it? Not only that, what would happen if you would explore that fear? The only way for you to overcome a fear is to do the thing that you're scared of. Okay? Fear, like I just said, is you putting boundaries and limitations on yourself. And I've said this to you before. How can you know what you can't do if you've never done it? There's an idea, there's a thought there that is stopping you from getting this thing done because why? You believe it about yourself. So fear is nothing but literally a negative breeding ground. When you fearful, when you scared, all you do is sit there and come up with thought after thought after thought after thought after thought of a thing that you were scared of. Every time you have a thought and another thought and another thought on top of the thought you were already having, you are just doing nothing but, again, keeping yourself from moving. The external view has become so real to you that you can believe nothing outside of what you sit in. That's horrible. That's how you get stuck in survival mode. That is the number one way to get stuck in survival mode, to sit there and believe that what you sit in, that what you see, that what you feel, especially if it's something that is not good, if you can actually feel and think that that is it, that that's all your life is, that's all your world consists of, you are absolutely mistaken, my love. Start observing your thoughts. When you have a thought, figure out where it's coming from, where it's stemming from. Don't just keep allowing yourself to talk yourself out of before it even happens. I don't care what's going on around you. Remember, everything in your life happens for a reason. So if you're there, figure out why you're there. Do what you need to do and get out. But you don't have to stay there. This is where you allowing what you go through and what you sit in to define you. You're not what you go through. You go through things on purpose. That is a part of your molding and your shaping. But you're not supposed to stay there. We go through things, and what happens is we pick up habits and patterns and routines and cycles and mindsets along the way, and instead of dropping them off, we allow them to become permanent. A lot of things that you go through, my love, were never meant to be permanent. They were there for that time and situation, and when you get out of it, you're supposed to let it go and move on. Okay? So this is where your discerning and deciphering comes in. That fear keeps you bound. Like I said, it keeps you chained. It keeps you in that comfort place where you know where everything is and how it's going to be and what it's going to feel like. You're not supposed to know what your life is going to be and feel like every day. You have to ask yourself, are you living or existing? Because you're supposed to be living. And a lot of times we get stuck existing. Okay? That comfort zone, that stagnant place, that is the dark. Let me also say that is the dark. It's not a lot of light there. It's not a lot going on there. So the other thing about it is, if you leave it, that's one of them types of situation that you can always leave and come back to, and it's going to be the same thing. You're not going to miss a thing. You're not going to miss anything. In those places and spaces, a lot of times, there's only one thing going on. So that's, you go to that place for that, because that's the only thing that happens there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're not going to miss a thing. So I know you might be scared, but that's okay. Go ahead and take that step. If you don't like the new, if you don't like the dark, the light, you can always go back down there. It ain't going nowhere. Them energy vampires and all that, they not going nowhere. They will always be ready and available to suck life out of you, because they can't live on their own. They have to suck the life out of you, and you literally keep supplying them, because you keep going on down there. So if you want to go down there, if you come on up here and you figure out you don't like the light, you don't like new, you don't like living, you don't like new experiences, then you can go on back down there. Like I just said earlier, the thing about it is, you don't have to want to go back down there so much, because there's going to be something on this experience. When you get into your faith walk, there's absolutely going to be tests, trials, and storms along the way. So you're going to find yourself back there either way it goes. It's going to be up to you, like I said, if you can get out or not. If you can withstand that vibration to pick yourself back up. Because you're always going to have to go back to those places and spaces, especially when you reach your full transition, transformation, and healing. Spirit's going to have you go back to those places to spread your light, to be an example, to show others that change is possible, or whatever the situation may be. So don't be so quick to go back, okay? Let's see what else I got here. Hold on, let me look. So, fear is a part of the program and the distraction. You cannot fear something you don't believe in. You fear things you don't know, and the first step to faith is surrendering to the unknown. You know your faith is growing when things no longer intimidate you, scare you, and you have an understanding of situations, and you're able to go through things and grow through things, and they do not throw you off course. When you find yourself in this space, you know that your faith is in full throttle. I love you guys. I hope you had I hope you picked something up here from this lesson here today. I know, like I told you, I'm a little razzle-dazzled here. I have been the last few times I got off, and it's just because, again, I'm working on everything in the schedule and trying to get everything together and making sure that when I get on that I do have something good to give you. But like I said, consistency is key, and we will be here and we will get better with time. I love you guys. If you have any questions, comments, remember you can always go back in the lesson and drop it down below. I will always come back and answer them. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. But what do I want you to absolutely do for the rest of your day? Bye bye.